Welcome, Marky Marks, once again to another episode of the RAWCAST. My name is Blake Carter, and I am here, as always, with the one and only Will Rawson. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I am doing great today.
Took a little bit to get that energy up there, maybe.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. How's your Friday been?
It's been an eventful day doing I weed-eated and I was mowing and doing some laundry, and now I'm ready to podcast.
All right, so I got you off of the honey-do list for a little bit then.
Pretty much.
Okay, we won't tell your wife that we're excited about that then. Okay, so we'll move on. This is quite the week. We're not going to quite have the NXT roundup because, well, we have quite a bit of NXT to talk about today. I would think with so much pay-per-views this month.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. It's another free month, and now between now and the end of the month, we're halfway through. The second half of the month, we have three. I guess you can say one WWE pay-per-view, then we have an NXT pay-per-view. Then I don't know if they're calling the Elimination Chamber a pay-per-view or just a special on the network only. To my mind, that's three pay-per-views at the end of this month.
It is, and I don't know. They may call the Elimination Chamber just a special event, but before we start talking about all the pay-per-views and such, with the Elimination Chamber, do you think that's going to be over the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, the Intercontinental, after we had some stuff happen with Bryan this week where he had to lay it down, or what?
Well, right now, I think personally it'll just be for the Intercontinental. And right now the rumors are saying it probably will be defended in the cage, the Elimination Chamber. And right now they're saying also that maybe a possibility of the tag team championships being defended in the chamber, which would new way to do it. I don't know what they're gonna do. Maybe they put a whole team in a pod. I don't know what they're gonna do.
That, or they each get separate, so you may only, luck of the draw, your partner may not be a part of the Elimination Chamber. If they did that, which that would be really interesting. I'd be interested to see either, but I do want to talk about Bryan having to let the belt go. We talked about this a little bit last podcast. We were hoping this wasn't going to happen, but unfortunately it has.
Yeah, it was almost a year apart exactly from the last time he had to do it. It was a big downer. They were having a decent Raw, wasn't, but then after that, it just everybody kind of sank in like, oh no, it happened again. There goes our indie hero, and who knows how long he's going to be sidelined this time, or if he's even going to come back.
Yeah, we might not get him back. I'm not sure. That they made it sound like, oh, maybe he will, but then the next day, whoever is the new social media director of WWE, and we've talked about this before, they kind of jumped the gun on things, and they were like, relive Daniel Bryan's greatest matches now, since you might not ever see them again.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay, like, I don't know what the future holds for Daniel Bryan. I don't know if we're going to have something like a Corey Graves situation where they're like, well, we're too worried about your health. We're going to have to do something else. Not that, granted, Corey Graves was about concussions, but boy, Daniel Bryan, I love him to death, but he reminds me of a kid that Will and I went to high school with, named Tyler.
There you go.
and I mean, he was a good kid, and I have nothing against him. He's a basketball coach now for a high school in Oklahoma, but almost every semester, every 9 weeks, Tyler would have something else broken in high school.
Leg and arm, it just was back and forth between his leg and his arm breaking every 9 weeks.
Every time. And as much as I love Daniel Bryan, and I love seeing him on the top, he is so accident prone that maybe it'd be safer for him not to be in the limelight as much. And I hate saying that. I really do. Because in my mind, he's a main event player. I really do. I believe that. So we wish the best of luck to him. Now, Will, I'm going to give you the opportunity to decide which pay-per-view we're talking about first. Are we talking about Unstoppable or are we talking about Payback?
I think we should start off with Unstoppable.
All right, let's start with Unstoppable then. So, so do you want to let's go ahead. It's kind of the NXT roundup.
It's kinda.
You know, let's have some fun. Let's talk about the tag match and also Corbin versus Rhino.
All right. I don't know about the Corbin and Rhino thing because I really want to love Baron Corbin. I don't know. He's missing something though, and it kind of gets boring. And I was actually just finished this week's NXT episode, and he came out, and it was a pretty good pop. He came out against, oh dang, I can't even think of his name. The internet hacker guy, Crow.
Oh, Crow, yeah.
Yeah, he came out there against him, and I was like, oh no, poor Crow. He's gonna, Solomon Crow's gonna get squashed. It was a pretty good match. It was a quick match, though, of course, with Corbin winning and accepting Rhino's challenge. During the match, though, I couldn't tell if the crowd was saying Corbin or boring. I had to turn it up. I still couldn't tell, and
I even
it sounded like he was getting a lot of boring and bored chants during the match.
I put the captions on, and normally they will even say it if it's loud enough on captions. They just put quote unquote crowd chanting.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think they were saying boring too, but I'm not. I don't know. It wasn't that bad of a match, but with Corbin, there's only so much you can do, and he has an interesting look to him, but I really don't feel like he has a character. And after watching the ESPN 60 this week, kind of seeing, he kind of feels like what they had to do with Adam Rose. Like his character, I mean, he's hard hitting, but it's just not connecting. So they have to give him some kind of gimmick.
Yeah, there needs to be something done, and maybe, I don't know, maybe they're hoping Rhino will kind of help elevate that character a little bit more. Maybe that's why they're pairing them up, because right now it's just kind of being tagged as the match between two unstoppable forces, and maybe we'll see what happens because Rhino came back. He's been unbeaten since. Corbin pretty much has been unbeaten for most of his NXT career. So we'll see where that match goes. Rhino has yet to be in a long endurance match. He's always been the quick matches with NXT rookie guys no one really knows about and killing them within like 30 seconds. So hopefully we're going to get a good 10-minute match out of him now and see how good he is and see if he can go a longer time along with Corbin, because Corbin's matches have generally been very short as well.
Yeah, except he had a kind of longer match with Bull, which this is what it feels like to me, is they're giving him the same type of story, like, big guy versus big guy, who can win. Though it just dawned on me now, I guess it's just Corbin is basically going to become a hunter because he's already slain a bull and now he's going after a rhino. So, but
and he is the lone wolf. He is a wolf hunting other random animals.
Oh gosh. Oh, good grief. So we'll have to see if this helps him. I'm putting Corbin over. Would you?
I would have to put Corbin over as well.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was feeling. Now, to go back to this card, we have a pretty exciting tag match, and you've talked about who's your favorite in this already, kind of.
Yes, I don't know. I'm wanting to say probably it could be a show stealer. I don't think so, but possibly the second best match of the night, maybe third, definitely. We got Enzo and Cass taking on Blake and Murphy for the championships. Pretty good feud going on. Enzo and Cass, they're huge faces now, and they're over, very, very over. I'm going for Enzo and Cass to take the gold.
They need it. They really do. They are one of the most exciting tag teams I think there is. And not maybe for all their moves, but they're so entertaining. And you can say they're a rehash of the New Age Outlaws, and I'd be fine with that because they are kind of repeat with me as I go down there and have one that's obviously better than the other in the ring, but still they're fun to watch, and I hope they win that one.
And I like Carmella too. Carmella's a babe.
She is a babe. I will be right there with you. And speaking of females, though, not so much Carmella, but we have the tag match, the ladies tag, and we also have Banks versus Lynch for the NXT women's division.
Yes. Oh man. I mean, we have kind of a weird feud going on between Flair and Brooke here at the last moment, I guess. I don't know what. It's just more of a friendship feud is what's going on. Of course, Emma turned on Bailey. Bailey didn't have any friends, so she started hanging out with Flair, and so she's like, "Hey, let's challenge them to a match." That's what literally just happened on the last episode of NXT. Like, oh, let's challenge them to a match, and then later on, Emma and Brooke were out there like, we accept. And it was a very horrible interview backstage when they accepted. It was really awkward and quiet, like no one knew what to say. So I don't know. I think they just kind of threw this match together at the last moment to give these girls something to do, but it probably will be entertaining, but I'm expecting a pretty short match.
I am too. But that being said, I think the main event could be not main event, but for the women's title could be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you're a Sasha Banks fan. We talked about it 3 or 4 podcasts ago when she won the championship.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't quite gotten there. She's talent. I mean, I don't know. She's missing something from me, but I'll admit she deserves the belt right now. But I think Sasha Banks may be losing that belt on Unstoppable to Miss Becky Lynch.
Ooh, well, you know what? I'd be okay with that.
A short title reign.
It is a short title reign, and it gives her a time to fight back for it, which I think that would be good for Sasha. And there's been pictures of her at house shows teaming up with Prince Pretty. And I think that could be a lot of fun too. But I don't know if they'll ever bring that beyond house shows. And hopefully, but I have no idea. But I do like Sasha. I feel like she has a good character, though I would be fine moving up most of these ladies, Sasha, Flair, to the main roster, just because I feel like our Divas division in Raw is lacking.
Mm-hmm.
As we'll talk about with their match later. I just don't think that's going to be fun at all. Moving on over to the triple threat, I'm excited about this one. This is what I think is going to steal the match show.
This is the one I was kind of debating. I'm like, well, it'll probably be it'll probably steal the show, hopefully followed by the tag match. I hope they step up their game, but this is probably definitely going to be the show stealer. And there's reports, of course, Hideo being injured, Balor possibly moving up to the main roster soon, as well as Hideo. But we've had Tyler Breeze in NXT. He's like one of the real NXT originals. He's been there for a couple years. Does he deserve a chance to go for the gold? I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pick Tyler Breeze to win this one.
Tyler Breeze is kind of in that Dolph Ziggler spot, not just because they look similar, but they kind of have I don't know, they're very athletic. They have a pretty defined character that maybe could be amped up just a little bit more. But, when Tyler Breeze comes out to that NXT crowd, I mean, he gets some of the larger pops that you hear. And I mean, they've, I don't know if they fully flipped him yet, but boy, he's fun to watch. And I would love for him to go for the gold. He may not win it. I don't know. It's going to take somebody pretty strong to beat Owens. But we'll see. I want him to win that one too. And speaking of Owens, we'll move on from our triple threat into our main event here. Now, do we know for certain if this is going to happen?
Well, according to the most recent reports, it is still happening. We never officially got an official injury report for Sami Zayn, other than something did happen, and he planned to be at Unstoppable, and it's still on as of yesterday. I haven't heard anything about it today, so I'm assuming it's going to happen unless during the early part of the pay-per-view they make some kind of breaking announcement. And I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I want to see Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens go at it, and I think it will happen personally.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, I actually think Sami Zayn is going to take the gold back.
And I think that'd be fine. Underdog stories have always worked for the WWE. And even here recently, we know they have with Daniel Bryan. If anybody's going to beat Kevin Owens, it should be Sami Zayn. It really should. And this is the only time I wish that NXT also had a Money in the Bank contract. Because I would love for Sami to win and then have Breeze cash it out. But, they don't get too gimmicky down there very much. It's pretty much just matches.
Yeah. That's what I was just thinking. Like, I wish they would have a ladder match or something every once in a while. But I think I've only seen one really ladder match in NXT in the past couple of years. And they're pretty much straightforward matches, like you said. No gimmicks, nothing. It's just straight matches.
It pretty much is. And when it is, it's very, very rare to have a gimmick. And when it is publicized over and over and over again. So that being said, I think this is going to be a great show, and it's coming up this week. So it'll be fun or this coming week. It'll be fun to watch. And right now tonight they're on the road in Philadelphia.
NXT Live.
They're in ECW territory.
So that's gonna be a wild crowd because a lot of these guys are the indie heroes that ECW crowds love, and of course you have Rhino there. I'm sure he traveled with them. It's gonna be a great homecoming for Rhino, and I would love to be in that Philly crowd when NXT's there.
Oh, it'll be great because you have the ECW, but you also have the Ring of Honor crowd always goes there too. And Ring of Honor always tries to visit Philly from here, every once in a while, and they have a loyal crowd. And a lot of these wrestlers have wrestled for ROH or even ECW. So I would love to be there too. That would be. For me, that'd almost be bigger than WrestleMania to be in Philadelphia.
To go to a Philly show or one in Chicago.
Yeah.
I would love to go to a nice indie show, a bigger indie show at one of those places.
Yeah, me too. I would love that. Or you know what? I'd be fine with a big show in Montreal. I feel like that'd be a fun crowd too. I do. But Canada's a ways away. So now we get to move into the pay-per-view that's happening this Sunday. It is Payback. And we get to have kind of a fun little kickoff between the Mega Powers and LOD. I mean Ascension. This you even posted a meme of this, but so we get basically this I don't know. We get this mock of Hogan and Macho Man, which is goofy, and it looked goofy on Monday, but I'll love it, even though I was kind of hoping they'd go somewhere different with Damian.
I think Damian wanted that too. I personally don't think he wants to do this, but he's, it's part of the business. He knows he has to kind of, but he would love just to do his own thing instead of all these little character gimmicks that he's being pushed into.
Yeah, I agree. But you know what? They could make this kind of fun. If they ramp it up, and maybe if they could get one of the divas to be the next Miss Elizabeth.
That would be funny. I almost think WWE is making fun of themselves with this match because they realize holy crap, did we really put this team called the Ascension together and just now realize they look like the Legion of Doom? And
Yeah.
then they have Axelmania that happened, and of course they have now Damien, was it? Mandow, or was it? What's his name? He's going by now.
Savage
Macho
Dad?
Mandow.
Or Macho Mandow. I couldn't remember.
So, like, well, we might as well put all these guys on a match together and just bring back a little late 80s nostalgia and just admit that we're dumb. And it would be great if the Ascension came out to Legion of Doom music just for a quick gimmick, it'd be funny, but it won't happen, but it'd be hilarious if it did.
Oh, it would be. Or I'd be fine with, Axel and Damien winning and then putting the LOD shoulder pads on the Ascension as they're knocked unconscious. But I don't know. I think the quote-unquote mega powers are going to win, but maybe this is to build Ascension up, and they beat them up and get on the mic and say, why are you giving us these clowns? We deserve better. I don't know.
I mean, if they want to do something with the Ascension, yeah, that's definitely what they need to do. I don't know, because I kind of forgot the Ascension was on the main roster. You don't see too much of them. And if you do, they're getting made fun of or they're getting beat. Maybe it's time for that push finally. I don't know.
Or maybe it's too late. I don't know. Making them do the face makeup instead of going with the darker stuff that Triple H was trying to push with them on NXT, and Vince tried to make them an 80s tag team, just didn't work. It just didn't. He probably, Vince doesn't even probably sure what the Illuminati is at this point. So, but that's okay. That's just the cross that we have to bear. But I think I'll still enjoy that one. Okay, now King Barrett versus Purple Pants Neville. What do you think? The Battle of the Capes.
Oh, man. I mean, it's gone back and forth for the last month or so, and I'm going to give this one, I mean, there's really not much on the line here. It's kind of like just another match that they've been having for the last month. So I'm going to go with Neville on this one.
And I think that's probably a good thing, unless they want to build up King Barrett a little bit more. We'll see. I'm worried they're going to bury Neville too quickly.
Yeah.
I am. And, and I'm not part of the WWE locker room. I'm not part of the political stuff. But sometimes I feel like Vince puts Triple H's people through the ringer to kind of humble Hunter. You know what I mean?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, if they came from NXT, I mean, he puts them through, I mean, a lot of shame and swallowing of pride. So I don't know, but I'm actually going to go with King Barrett on this one. But I would be more than happy if Neville won. I really would. And I'd also be fine if this got pushed to pre-show with the Mega Powers, but maybe we don't have time for it. Okay, tag Kid Cesaro versus tag team champs New Day.
All right. Look at the goofy smiles on the New Day right there.
Oh, isn't that great?
Like Xavier Woods, I don't know what kind of smile he's doing.
I don't either. But are they making Xavier more of a manager, or is it just like the Freebirds where he's in there every once in a while?
See, that's what I mean, at first he was coming off as a manager type role, but more and more it's been coming more of a Freebird style. Like any two of the three guys could be in the ring and competing, which I'd be fine with. I'd like to see some Freebird rules back in WWE, even though there's really not too many stables that could pull it off right now, other than maybe an Authority stable and then New Day. But I don't know. I prefer him kind of as a manager role. When it comes to the New Day, I'd rather see Kofi and Big E in the ring competing.
I do too. But we'll just have to see. Though I will give the belts to New Day, wouldn't you? Or are you going to give them back to Kid Cesaro?
I don't know. I'd like to see it go back to Kid and Cesaro. a short title reign, maybe, and then the next pay-per-view next month, maybe it exchanges again. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'd like to see a little just back and forth action in the tag team division between these two teams.
Well, I mean, we could, and we definitely are starting to build up more tag teams. And I didn't get to see. I missed this part of Raw, but it sounded like Rowan finally reflipped back to heel. So could we see a Harper and Rowan?
I think we could see some kind of a Wyatt reunion of sorts between them. They were also kind of starting to push the Lucha Dragons. They kind of dropped off here this last week, but they're still up there being pushed. So there is quite a building of tag teams in the main roster now.
And I've always loved tag team action. I really have. So if that's what's going to happen, I'd be happy with that. Okay, the bathroom break. I mean Diva match. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, obviously the winner of this match is going to be Naomi's glowing shoes. Because it's pretty cool looking. But I don't know with this one. I mean, there's nothing on the line. There's no championship to being defended. It's just kind of a quick tag team thing that came together since Snuka Tamina came back. Mm-hmm. And she's still playing that, kind of bodyguard role again. This time she's not guarding AJ. Now she's guarding Naomi. So there's nothing on the line. I'm going to give it to Naomi and Tamina.
I would too. But I can't remember. I think last pay-per-view she actually defended her belt. But for the most part, Nikki's reign has been actually tag team matches at pay-per-views, even at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And this is getting really tiresome. We're seeing such great women division action in the minor leagues with NXT. We can't even just have a fraction of that during the main show.
It won't be too long. I mean, we'll get those girls up here. Probably Flair will be the first one to make the jump. We'll have Paige back here pretty soon, I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. And we're also going to get Eva Marie. She should be returning sometime, probably within the next couple months. And she's been working out and doing some stuff. Just because they're coming, though, doesn't mean we're going to get that same style of NXT. It'll probably just be, a bathroom break. And it's going to be heartbreaking to see that, especially when Flair's in the ring and stuff, when we get these little 1-2 minute, pillow fight type matches. And then it's going to be sad to see that happen to really, really talented female wrestlers.
Well, what I'm kind of hoping now that Lucha Libre is or whatever, I can't even think of it right now.
Lucha Underground.
Thank you. Is making it a bigger deal to have mixed tags again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
they got championships devoted to it.
Yeah, championships devoted
mixed to tag team championships.
That it makes me wonder if WWE might try that a little bit.
I would like to see it. I don't know if they'll be able to, though.
Yeah, that may be too hard. Maybe I'm wishing too much here, but I would love to see that kind of match. And with Flair, I think it's possible. With Tamina, even I think that's possible. But we'll just have to see. But I am also giving this to Naomi as well. Okay. We talked about maybe a Wyatt family reunion. This could come into play. It's Payback with Ryback for this match. I don't know.
Sorry, I was reading his little tights right there. I didn't know what it said.
Oh,
it's some kind of black print on there. I didn't see what it said.
Up.
Redemption? I don't know. I don't know. It's not relevant. I was just never noticed it until now.
I have no idea. ENOEMPT. I'm not sure. I don't know what he's going with that. This has been the weirdest feud I have felt. Bray was cryptic about it for weeks, and now he's going after Ryback. I
don't know. I mean, the only thing I could think of we had these dumb, I wouldn't say dumb, but they're dumb when they get wasted. These cryptic vignettes about who he's wanting to challenge or what he's wanting to change. And it ends up being Ryback out of all the people. Like, okay, that's kind of weird calling him out all of a sudden. And the only thing I can think of that's silly, Bray Wyatt calls himself the Eater of Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Ryback says, "Feed me more." That's the only relationship between the two I can see.
Well, maybe they could have a buffet match. I don't know. I mean, this one to me, I'm not excited for. I mean, I've been enjoying watching Ryback's new face run. I think he's been doing well. But I don't know who I'd give this to. I'd probably give it to Bray.
I mean, yeah, this is hard because they both need a win. Bray just came back, and of course he challenged the Undertaker at WrestleMania. Undertaker beat him. Then he's pretty much been gone since then. He had a slight ankle injury that he was kind of nursing back, but we haven't seen him since. And excuse me, I had to swallow some spit.
Oh, very good, very good, very good.
Yeah, they both need a win. I mean, Ryback needs a win because he loses so many pay-per-views. And personally, I'd like to see Ryback come out the stronger person in this match. What's the only way I can think of that happening is him winning. And I'd like to see him go on eventually maybe to challenge John Cena for his U.S. title at one of the U.S. Open things because John Cena kind of promoted him for a while, and they had a couple good matches together when the WWE Championship was involved between the two. So I'd like to see maybe that happen. But at the same time, I can't see Bray Wyatt losing this and taking him seriously. He's lost against The Undertaker, then he loses against Ryback. What would happen next?
Well, maybe we see a full Wyatt family reunion and it's a DQ. It could be a possibility. Also, I'm with you with Ryback, though I don't know if I'd put him on the U.S. title track, but maybe the Intercontinental, especially if it is defended in the Chamber
right
at the end of this month. But I don't know. This match, I don't have a lot invested in it, but I do like both of the players that are involved, and I don't know where I would put either of them. You can say Ryback. I'm gonna say Bray on that one. On this match, we have a rematch of the Kiss Me Arse, but there's no stipulation on this one. Between Dolph and Sheamus. Who do you got on this one? That's a pretty picture of Dolph, by the way.
I know. I was being mesmerized by his eyes or something. A twinkle. I think, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of this new character gimmick that Sheamus has. And at the same time, which I've been saying this for a couple of years, many years probably, they need to do something with Ziggler. If he wins, they're not going to do anything with him. If he loses, they're not going to do anything with him. He is just a flat liner. And I'd give this win to Ziggler, and hopefully they'll put him in that Intercontinental title picture and maybe win it. I don't know, but they need to use him better. It's been way too long. And if they keep doing this, I don't see him in the company much longer.
Well, there's rumors that if he doesn't get to the top in the next year or so, he's done, is what he's told people. And I don't know if that's true or not. And I didn't get to watch SmackDown, and I wish I would have got a picture of it for the podcast. But did you see his glam rock?
Yeah, the little faded jeans and everything that he's got going on lately.
Yeah, what was that about?
I don't know. It's just very glam rock, late 80s, torn neon colors and jeans. It's kind of weird looking. Headbands.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where he's doing with that little get up.
Matt Fowler with IGN, he was talking about the Dolph rumor of him leaving. And he was thinking Dolph's like, well, if you're not going to do anything with me, I'm just going to have fun and create my own gimmick and I'm gone. And if that's the case, I don't know. Or maybe this is WWE trying one more time with him to do something with him. I'm not sure. It was the weirdest look I've ever seen on him. And I mean, we saw the French braid thing at WrestleMania. So who knows? Who knows? Okay, Cena versus Rusev one more time.
This is supposed to be the finale. This is the final time. And I think it will be. I don't see Rusev winning this. It is going to be Cena. Somehow Rusev's going to come out very weak looking, probably. But he will be the one saying, I quit.
I agree. I agree. What I hope happens, in just the sake of comedy, he says I quit in Russian. The ref calls it, and then on Raw the next night, he's like, I didn't say it in English, so it doesn't count. Like that's kind of what I'm hoping happens. But I want to, I've actually been more interested seeing who possibly could win the US belt with the open challenge on Raw every week than I am in this storyline.
Yeah, I like the US Open challenges. They've been great. Like I said, I would like to see Ryback just come out and challenge him eventually. But another cool part about this match that I'm looking forward to is Lana also saying I quit to Rusev. I think it'll happen. I think the split up's going to happen at the pay-per-view. Where she goes from there, if she sides with anyone else, we'll see. Or if she just becomes like a solo female wrestler, maybe it's her time to start stepping in the ring. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. I don't know if she's been trained for it.
Yeah, I don't know. You haven't seen much. You haven't heard anything about her working out with Divas, doing any kind of ring work down in Florida. I don't think she has any in-ring work either. So if she does quit with Rusev, where does she go? Like, does she team up with I can't even think of his dang name. I love him. Fandango?
Yeah.
Does he get her? She become a new Fandango girl?
I'm not sure, but she is going to cost him the match.
Because that would be a boost for her career as well as Fandango's, because he's starting to get back over. I'd like to see him maybe go up towards the IC title picture as well, maybe with Lana in his corner, being super faces.
I would love that. I don't know. Just seeing that pure delight smile we got to see 2 weeks ago on Raw with Lana, I love that. It was cute. It was funny. It was like she was a kid having fun with Fandango. If she doesn't cost him the match, Fandango should cost him the match. That's where I'm at on this one. But otherwise, I'm not interested in it. It has nothing to do with Cena. It's just we've seen this story too many times.
Like you said, Fandango costing the match. It would be really cool. Good match, back and forth. Lana's not pleasing Rusev, so he's yelling at her to get back, go, get out of here, whatever. And she's kind of on the ramp or whatever. Maybe Fandango should come down and just twirl her around, give her a big old smooch, set Rusev off fire. Cena takes advantage of it and just locks him up, makes him quit.
I think that would be great. Maybe
then Fandango can pick Lana up and just carry her to the back.
There you go. And to make it even more patriotic, Cena gets him to say I quit by choking him with a U.S. flagpole.
Yeah.
This is why we'll never work for the WWE.
Nope. We're too good. We're too good.
We're too good. We make too much sense. Vince would hate us. The main event. A fatal four-way.
Oh, man.
This is, we didn't think it was going to be a four-way for quite a while, and then all of a sudden Dean pops up with Randy, Seth, and Roman. This is going to be an exciting match. Now, personally, Seth's going to walk away with the belt.
Oh, man. I mean, I think Seth, I don't know. I'm so confused about this match. I mean, I don't think we'll see any kind of Shield reunion or anything like that. Even though I wouldn't be completely upset to see a huge screw job and see them reunite and just kind of let them take off and be like super, super heels again if they did that. I don't see it happening though. I think Rollins or Reigns will be winning it. The only reason I say Reigns is because what happens after this if Rollins wins? What are they going to do at the next pay-per-view? And then, of course, SummerSlam coming up here in just another couple months where Brock Lesnar is supposedly coming back.
Well,
I don't want to see a Rollins versus Brock Lesnar match. I don't know. I don't think it could work.
And I don't think we're going to. I think Roman will have the belt by then. And if Roman is to win, this could be WWE's reasoning. How could you hate a man that beat 3 other men to get the belt? You know?
Yeah.
And really, you have 3 faces versus 1 heel in this match. And that's kind of a dangerous combination. Now, I don't think we're going to see a Shield reunion, but I could see Dean, Roman, and Randy doing the Shield 3-man powerbomb versus Seth.
Yeah.
Just as a little bit of kind of a middle finger kind of thing. You know, but unless
it's going to be a great match. I just don't know where it's going to go if certain people win, you know, like, okay, well, I'm happy with that, but now what? Like, that's where I'm kind of stuck at.
Well, what could happen is they could have Dean turn, or you could see Authority turn on Seth and make Dean their new man.
See, I'm ready for the Authority just to crumble. I'm done with the Authority storyline. I was kind of hoping that Sting would be one of the guys to help end it at WrestleMania. And we haven't seen much of an Authority, you know, a United Authority since WrestleMania. I even commented that Triple H kind of looks more face now with some of the stuff he does, his segments he does with Seth Rollins, saying, yeah, you are getting things handed to you. You need to show that you can really do things yourself around here. And he's giving him, you know, less pushes. You know, he wants him to start working for himself. So I'm almost wondering if the Authority is getting ready to break up. We haven't seen much of them. Pretty much our main Authority figures have been Rollins and J&J Security and Kane. You don't see much Stephanie. You don't see much Hunter. Haven't seen much Big Show lately.
No, just basically Kane and J&J.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, if the Authority is still around, we need to be reminded that they're still around and bring them back or do something, because I'm starting to forget a little bit about the Authority. We hear it mentioned, we just don't see it.
No, and it's mostly been Kane because they've been quote unquote on vacation, even though you know they're there. But that being said, is the reason you want the Authority to crumble not just because we're getting tired of it, but is it because we've seen it done better the first time with Austin and Vince?
Yeah, it was done better definitely the first time, but I'm also just ready for it to end. I mean, we're not seeing any big faces come up to challenge them, you know? They're just wanting the challenge for the belt. Nobody's wanting to challenge the Authority.
Yeah, and outside of Sting, there wasn't. And then they switched it at the WrestleMania match to have nothing to do about the Authority. It was WCW versus WWF. Yeah. And I don't know if we're going to have the end of Authority. I really don't.
It's just kind of like dissolve and just kind of like, oh, the Authority still exists. We're just not as mean as we were 5 months ago, kind of thing.
Well, what I would do is have a new general manager in play and stick with it. And if there's somebody that needs a role right now, it's Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Though he was a terrible guest manager the day that he did it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just hamming up with the crowd and having fun. I'm like, well, you can only do that for so long. You need to evolve a little bit if you're going to be that kind of a manager. That being said, who we could see in the wrestling tights, maybe not as a manager, maybe as something else, but Noelle Foley's going to have she's having a watch party in that town.
I know, she is smoking hot. Good job, Mick.
Well, and she wants to get involved in the business.
She does. I've been seeing reports of that she's wanting to get more backstage and maybe coming on as some kind of a personality.
And I would love that. Gosh, that once again tells you how exciting this pay-per-view actually is. If we're actually talking more about the people we'd like to see in the business than the matches themselves. Though I think we'll have a good one with the Fatal 4-Way. I think the Cena one, though we've seen it a lot, it could be potentially fun. But I feel like we have a whole bunch of matches that really don't mean anything, like the King Barrett and even the Sheamus and Dolph, unless we're building up Sheamus to get that Intercontinental belt.
Yeah, we got 3 matches from this one that are, good watchers. We got Cena, we got the Fatal 4-Way, and then we got the Tag Team Championships. Other than that, they're just kind of matches, no big deals. But it won't be that bad of a pay-per-view, I don't think. I think we still might get a good surprise or two out of it, especially with the Fatal 4-Way. So many outcomes can happen from that. Who's going to help interfere? Will we see any kind of Triple H or Stephanie come down, or is it going to be Kane? Is Kane going to finally flip and turn from the Authority? We don't know.
Well, we don't. And but it'll be interesting. We'll be watching. We'll have fun. But we need to end on something else that we can maybe have fun, maybe make fun of a little bit. What do you think about the panel of judges for Tough Enough? Have you seen this?
I have not seen. I heard Daniel Bryan was one of them.
Yes, Daniel Bryan.
Okay, and I don't know the other ones at all.
Hulk Hogan.
All right.
And who's taking Steve Austin's role? Did you hear this? Chris freaking Jericho. Chris
Jericho. All right.
This doesn't show you that there's really a rift. I don't know what will. Because even as much Steve keeps trying to deny it on his podcast, which you should listen to, it's a lot of fun. You got to be kidding me.
Wow.
Jericho getting all this stuff. Booker T's going to be a trainer. And you know who's going to be the woman trainer this time?
Oh, no. Lita?
Yep.
Oh, my God. I just guessed. That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
That's really cool. So you have Booker T and Lita, and then Jericho's in charge, and then the judges panel is Hulk and Bryan, and I think somebody else, and I'm forgetting that third person. But it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. I mean, they're kind of putting it as kind of like more of the Voice kind of thing, where you have trainers and then they get judged by the judges panel.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, we're about a month away, right? Yeah. It's coming out in about a month. So I don't know. I'll watch it all the way through regardless. But yeah, the panel is a little weird. Especially with Jericho. That's just like a elbow into your ribs, you know?
I love Jericho, but I am getting tired of him apparently being the replacement for Steve Austin. I really am. And granted, him and Kane are about the only, semi-active people that have been around the longest. I guess Big Show too, but and Mark Henry. But beyond that, that's about it. And
I would have liked to have seen Kane. I mean, if he wasn't too busy, I would have liked to see Kane on that panel.
I would have loved to see Mark Henry on that
Mark
panel.
Henry, yeah.
Because I would maybe even Mark Henry train. I think Mark Henry would whip the crap out of all of them.
Well, they do bring special guests on every few episodes, so maybe we'll get, Mark Henry episode where he teaches them how to slam, and they each have to take like 10 slams from him or something.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Oof, oof, oof. And are they playing us? Have they already picked their contestants and they just want to see how goofy we are on our videos? Or are they really just going to pick them from YouTube clips?
I don't know. See, I'm faithful that they do it the right way and actually make a contest out of it, and not just like, oh, let's just watch all these goofy videos that they're sending us kind of thing.
I think it's them making fun of us without us really realizing it. I really do. Put it on Raw every week. We'll give you one good contestant and 7 terrible ones. Like the guys that shoot their video on their smartphone in their bathroom. Oh boy. But we're having a little bit of fun. Make sure you follow us as we get into Payback. We're kind of looking excited. I mean, it's not the best pay-per-view, but we're going to enjoy it either way. You're going to fling it. Oh, before we go, did you see that Bubba/Bully was on TNA this week?
I did. And there's also reports of him supposedly showing up at an NXT show for the Philadelphia one.
Are you serious?
Yeah. There was reports of him supposedly being there with them.
Isn't the Legends contract you can do outside events as long as you're not wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if the TNA would be a quote-unquote appearance because he was just a ref. So I don't know. If not, and Triple H has messed up me seeing Bubba in the Hall of Fame, I will scream. Because I will. Oh my gosh. When I saw that, I was ready to ask for the tables. Because they better not have missed the boat of him coming back. I really like if you want somebody to be in charge of NXT now that Bill's gone, Bubba.
Yeah, Bubba would have been the perfect guy.
Because he helped run the School of Hardcore with Taz, who also left TNA, by the way.
Yeah. Maybe Taz comes back.
Oh my gosh, I hope not. I love Taz.
Or does he go to GFW?
Are they even a contender anymore?
I mean, there's lots of news coming out that they're starting to get things lined up, and they're going to have so many new champions this summer and a lot of new roster expansions.
But
he's one of those guys.
Hasn't it been already 2 years now that we're waiting?
It's a slow. Yeah, it's really slow to get off the ground and going, but supposedly it's really taken off this summer.
Okay, I'll believe it when I see it. Do I want it to happen? Yes, because I always want there to be more wrestling and more venues for us to see more people and more work for the wrestlers. But I don't see this going off the ground. It's taken him too long to get investors. If he truly had Toby Keith, like it was rumored at the beginning, something would have already happened.
Probably.
I really don't see an investor like him waiting this long for his product to happen. Because basically the pay-per-view they gave us with New Japan was just basically a sponsorship just to get their name out there. I mean, that's all they did is they sponsored it. No, nothing different than when Gillette Razor sponsors a WWE pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about it. I want it to happen. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, we'll see.
If I'm proven wrong, I'll be more than happy. Okay, say your goodbyes, good sir.
Oh, goodbye. It is going to be a good weekend, a good week here because we got Payback, and then a couple days after that, Unstoppable. Weekend and a half after that, we get the return of the Elimination Chamber. So the end of May is going to be a good time to be a WWE fan, regardless if they do some dumb things here and there. It's still going to be pretty enjoyable for a free month of the network, by the way.
Oh,
I'm looking forward to it, and yeah, we'll probably come back with another one right before the Elimination Chamber once they get more of a card kind of built up for that.
Mm-hmm. And that'll be fun. Alrighty. Well, thank you for watching, subscribing, sharing us. Every little bit helps because we're just like you guys. We're just random guys that love wrestling that talk about it for close to an hour. So thank you once again, and well, we'll see you later.